Could you explain to us how this virus works, and is it different from COVID-19?
The viruses cause different types of diseases, but with respect to the type of illness it causes, it could be said to be similar to COVID-19, because both of them cause what we call respiratory illnesses. And the symptoms of these respiratory illness is basically the symptoms of the common cold. The stuffy nose, the fever, person runs temperature, coughing, sneezing. And then in severe cases, particularly in individuals with low immune system, in the very young and in the very elderly, it can become severe in some cases.
Okay, so what is the mode of transmission? How is this transmitted?
So the mode of transmission is, because it is a respiratory illness, it makes people to sneeze, to cough. So in the process of sneezing and coughing, individuals will then bring out particles, what we call respiratory particles. And within those respiratory particles will be the organisms, in this case, the virus that causes the infection. And it then means that as it's out there in the air, floating, if you're very close to an individual that is bringing out such respiratory particles carrying these viruses, and it falls on the faces, perhaps the nose, what we call the mucous membranes of the nose, the mouth, even on the mucous membranes of the eyes, these viruses would then be deposited there, and then they can move on to cause infection in vulnerable people. In the same vein, as individuals are sneezing and coughing and not taking the appropriate respiratory hygiene and cough etiquette that we've mentioned, that we say people should take, these particles containing viruses, containing the microorganisms that cause infection, will fall on horizontal surfaces. And then if we also use our mouth and to cover our noses while we are sneezing or coughing, we can touch surfaces, perhaps door handles, light bulbs. That is why keeping the environment clean, doing hand hygiene and respiratory hygiene and cough etiquette are very, very critical, not only for this human metapneumovirus, but indeed for every respiratory illness. It is standard practice that we are careful how we take care of our sneeze and our cough.
What are the risk factors?
Well, the risk factors, I'll first of all say that these things, these common colds, they're seasonal. And in some parts of the world, they're common during, for instance, winter. And then if you come to the human beings that are predisposed, I have mentioned that the body has a way of taking care of infections. But then you have sometimes when some people are more vulnerable, the very young, whose immune system has not developed adequately yet to be very robust to the extent to handle this. So the very young, you also have the very old, maybe more vulnerable. If you have individuals who, for one reason or the other, for reasons of other illnesses or some treatment that are taken, they may become more vulnerable. Asthmatics also may become more predisposed to developing severe cases of some of these respiratory illnesses.